Om Om Ganapati Namah. Om Saraswatyai Namah. Om Shri Guru Namah. अखण्डमण्डलाकारम् व्याप्तं येन चराचरम् तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। With the blessings of Bhagavan Shri Krishna, all the acharyas, let us turn the butter Geetamrita to churning Geetarjanam, the buttermilk, the focused mind. Om Bhagavate Vasudeva. Om Devi Geetamritaye. Om Bhagavate Vasudeva. Om Geetamritaye. Om Bhagavate Vasudeva. Om Shraddha, shall we sing?
Yeah.
That is verse number 12, third chapter. Ishtan bhogan hi wo deva
Ishtan bhogan hi wo deva
dasyante yajna bhavitah
dasyante yajna bhavitaha
taidattana pradayebhyo
taidattana pradayebhyo
यो भुङ्क्ते स्तेन एव सः
यो भुङ्क्ते स्तेन एव सः
यज्ञशिष्टाशिनः सन्तो
यज्ञशिष्टाशिनः सन्तो
मुच्यन्ते सर्वकिल्बिषैः
मुच्यन्ते सर्वकिल्बिषैः
भुञ्जते ते त्वघं पापा
भुञ्जते ते त्वघं पापा
ये पचन्ति आत्मकारणात्
ये पचन्ति आत्मकारणात्
अन्नात् भवन्ति भूतानि
अन्नाद्भवन्ति भूतानि
पर्जन्यात् अन्नसम्भवः
पर्जन्यादन्नसम्भवः
यज्ञात् भवति पर्जन्यो
यज्ञाद्भवति पर्जन्यो
यज्ञः कर्म समुद्भवः
यज्ञकर्मसमुद्भवः
कर्म ब्रह्मोद्भवं विद्धि
कर्म ब्रह्मोद्भवं विद्धि
ब्रह्माक्षर समुद्भवम्
ब्रह्माक्षरसमुद्भवम्
तस्मात् सर्वगतं ब्रह्म
तस्मात् सर्वगतं ब्रह्म
नित्यं यज्ञे प्रतिष्ठितम्
नित्यं यज्ञे प्रतिष्ठितम्
एवं प्रवर्तितं चक्रम्
एवं प्रवर्तितं चक्रम्
नानुवर्तयति हयः
नानुवर्तयति हयः
अघायुः इन्द्रियारामो
अघायु इन्द्रियारामो
मोघं पार्थ स जीवति
पार्थ स जीवति
यस्त्वात्मारतिरेव स्यात्
यस्मात् मारतिरेव स्यात्
आत्मतृप्तश्च मानवः
आत्मतृप्तश्च मानवः
आत्मन्येव च सन्तुष्टः
आत्मन्येव च सन्तुष्टः
तस्य कार्यं न विद्यते
तस्य कार्यं न विद्यते
नैव तस्य कृतेनार्थो
नैव तस्य कृतेनार्थो
न कृते नेह कश्चन
न कृतेनेह कश्चन
न चास्य सर्वभूतेषु
न चास्य सर्वभूतेषु
कश्चिदर्थव्यपाश्रयः
कश्चिदर्थव्यपाश्रयः
So, in the previous verse, we saw how devas and the human beings, manavas, they mutually help one another and make the whole universe run very smoothly. both devas as well as manavas, through yajna bhava, through yajna karma, they prosper and the whole universe will become a smooth running universe, a place to live. Now, in the next one, Ishtan bhogan hi vo deva dasyante yajna bhavita taidatta na pradayebhyo yo bhunte sthena eva sah. Ishtan bhogan hi vo deva dasyante yajna bhavita. Yajna bhavita deva. All those devas who have been appeased, who have been made happy through each action performed with service, self-dedicated action. Certainly, all devas feel happy. They are appeased. And thus, Ishtan Bhogan hi dasyante. They all give all the progressive material prosperity and whatever we desire, they are ready to give because they are really pleased. Because every action of human being, if it is done in yajna bhava, as service, as sacrifice to the well-being of the whole universe, that is yajna karma. Other than that, if they don't do like that, tay dattan apradayebhyo yo bhunte, without giving back, when devas have given us so much, if we don't give them back in return anything, offer them in return anything, whoever enjoys whatever is there in the nature, they are none but thief. Tena means thief. That person very much becomes a thief. So what can we understand? Devas, who are they? All the devatas are nothing but the bundles of energy and consciousness which are constantly contributing towards the upliftment, well-being of the whole universe. And we pray them, we respect them, we show our devotion, thanks, gratitude for whatever they are giving us. So with that bhava, when we are doing, they are also happy, isn't it? So the nature will be very happy. Nature is nothing but the Prakriti, which is nothing but filled with those bundles of energies, which whom we call Devatas. Vayu, Agni, Varuna, Kala, Yama, Bhudevi. All are none other than the factors of this universe. When they are all happy, certainly they give us rain and grains, vegetation, good air to breathe, beautiful sky, light, and we all enjoy it. In return, what should we do? We should take care of our environment, our own body in such a way that we are fit, eligible to give back to the Devatas. If we don't do that, we are nothing but thieves. Because we are eating for our enjoyment, whatever is available in the outer world as gift of Devatas. If we keep eating for our own enjoyment through all the five senses, through the mind, through our intellect, without giving back, then we are none other than thieves. So they are giving us with the hope, with the expectation that we also return back. Devas are productive, potential bundles, energy and consciousness. And they are appeased by yajna. That yajna is well performed karma action, which is self-dedicated with the mind of service and sacrifice. Yajna bhava, yajna karma, both are major two important things for human beings which they have to follow. One can say, one can argue, I am leading a very virtuous life. I am not stealing anything. I am leading my life. I don't believe in gods or all these things as gods. I don't have to worship them. And what is wrong with it? I will live like that. It might be okay from the point of view of the individual human beings. He's not stealing anything. He's leading his life righteously. But in the eyes of the cosmos, when we take it holistically, he is a thief. I will give you an example. In the sidewalk, a bookseller he has arranged all the books. Amidst there is Bhagavadgita book. And a person comes getting attracted to read the Bhagavad Gita. He takes the book in his hand and reads it for half an hour and keeps it back and just walks away. He is a thief because he didn't take the permission of the bookseller, nor he paid for that Bhagavad Gita book. He read, he enjoyed for half hour. He spent his time with the help of that Bhagavad Gita book, and he has not paid for it. He is a thief. So like that, when the whole world belongs to that Supreme Ishvara, how can we keep taking enjoy for our own enjoyment through five senses without giving back something good through our action? It's not right. Ishavasyamiram sarvam yat kinchit jagatyam jagat tena tyaktena bhunjita ma gridha kasya svidhanam. When everything is belonging to that Ishvara, we don't have the power to assert it without paying in return. So just imagine if every one of us follow this rule throughout the world, how beautiful the world would become. And since ages, Bhagavad Gita has been giving that lesson for us to follow. Yajneshishtashinah santo muchyante sarvakilbishaihi bhunjate te tvagham papa ye pachanti atma karanam. So Bhagavan Krishna is making it all the more clear in the next one. Yajna Shishtashina Santo. Santa is that spiritual minded, virtuous, righteous person, Santa, who consumes only the leftover from the yajna. He takes that as prasada. Yajna shishta means the leftover. Ashinaha, one who takes it. That Santa, muchyante sarvakil vishayhi. He is liberated from all the sins, all the sins. See how delicately Krishna is bringing in the karma theory here. The Santa who is righteous man with spiritual mind. He is seeing, perceiving, experiencing the whole universe, his life, his every action as yajna, a great sacrifice which is taking place as the whole universe. In that world, he's taking every action of his, whether he's doing something for others or whatever he's eating, also as part of yajna, which is happening in cosmic way, every nanosecond of the whole time, all time. He is Santa. So when his mindset is that the whole yajna is happening as my life, and he performs every action as contribution towards that yajna. He never gets any sin, papa, from his action because everything is service oriented. See how beautiful it is. Yajna Shishtashina Santo. So whatever he is consuming through five senses as food, nutrition to the eyes, whatever he sees, wow, it is prasada. Whatever he hears, it is prasada. Whatever he smells, it is prasada. The thoughts which are coming, that is also prasada. Everything he receives as prasada. And ashina, he eats that, he consumes that, he perceives that. Mujyante sarvakil vishay. He is liberated from all sins. Nothing touches him. Bhunjate te dvagham. Papa ye pachanti atma karana. Those who cook in the sense who performs every action, who cooks food for their own enjoyment. Pachanti atma karana for their own enjoyment, for their own satisfaction, for their individual desires. Whoever eats, cooks and eats that, they are eating nothing but the sin. They are eating the sin. And they are leading the life of sin. Bhunjate te tu agham. Agham means sin. Papa ye pachanti atma karana. So, As I said, Yajna Bhava and Yajna Karma both are extremely sublime to live in this world, to do any action. So Yajna Bhava and Yajna Karma should become part of us. Part of us. Only then there is way for us to proceed towards liberation. Otherwise, we are stuck. And unknowingly, we are moving in the path of Papa. Shishtashina Prasada, as I said, even when they are doing the yajna, they offer so many things in so much of quantity in yajna to the fire which they would have invoked. And those people who are performing, those sages, seers, masters, they sense, they know that Agnideva has accepted. Only then they stop offering. So whatever is left over, that is prasada, that should be eaten. So if we take it in ritualistic way also, there is meaning to it. Without shamadhana, there's no way we can get out of the cycle of birth and death. When we have that yajna bhava, a person becomes highly sensitive. He is aware of what is happening around him, and gradually that radius, circumference keeps expanding, and he becomes all the more aware of the ongoing of the world. And accordingly, he performs every action through his body and the mind. They become so sensitive that even while cooking, they recognize, they realize they are harming so many bacteria or living things while pounding or cooking or in the water, in the vessels. But when they are doing with this yajna bhava, they are not accruing any sin. Whereas if we are doing the cooking for our own self to satisfy the stomach of ours, then we are getting the sin. So we have to become more sensitive towards what we are having through all the five senses, what we are taking in through the five senses. And also we have to be sensitive enough to recognize, to be aware what we are giving out to the world in return through five karmendriyas. So both input and output should be with sensitivity. Annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyat anna sambhava. Yajnat bhavati parjanyo yajna karma samudbhava. Here Krishna is teaching next how the cosmos is one living being and how everything is interconnected. Annad bhavanti bhutani. All living beings born, they come forth from food, anna. Parjanyat anna sambhavaha. Parjanya is rain. From rain comes the food. Yajnat bhavati parjanyam. And from yajna, through the yajna karma, comes the rain. Yajna karma samudbhavam. That yajna happens from the actions. Karma brahmodbhavam vidhi. No, O Arjuna, no for sure. Karma, the action, comes from Brahma. It originates from Brahma, the creator. Brahma akshara samudbhavam. And that Brahma, the creator, originated from the imperishable one. Who is that imperishable one? Parabrahman. Brahman. So Brahma is the creator. Brahma is that imperishable Parabrahman, the supreme, everlasting, eternal being, imperishable. That is Akshara Samudbhavam. From him came the creator Brahma. Tasmat Sarvagatam Brahma. And thus Brahma, that supreme Parabrahman, who is all pervading, Sarvagatam, Nityam, eternally, forever, Yajna, in Yajna, that is ongoing of the world, which is possible only when every atom of the whole world, universe, is in action. That is how it is happening, right? The whole world is like this because everything is in action, moving. So, Nityam Yajne Pratishtitam, it is present. That Supreme is present in Yajna because he is all pervading. Sarvagatam. And from him came Brahma, the creator. From that Brahma came the karma, the action. Isn't it? Because he has created the world, which is always in movement, in action. The world is becoming Jagat. And that karma is because of the yajna. And that yajna is because of rain. So like this, it goes in cycle, the whole thing. The whole cosmic wheel of cooperative action which is taking place is beautifully described here. The rain comes, it gives rise to the grains as food that man eats, and that food becomes the blood. In that blood comes the semen, and that semen is the seed which gives rise to the human body. And that human body with the mind gets into the action, and yajna bhava, yajna karma is taking place. Because of that yajna, again the rain is coming. And from the rain, the grains. Like that, it goes in cycle, like a chakra. So that is telling. Even if we see the seeds are there, dry. When we put it in the water, within 1 or 2 days, it starts sprouting. How did it happen? That parjanya, the rain, the water, is the key, which is a very essential condition for conversion of the mineral, raw material into nutritious food. Like I said, the seed, when it is put in the water, it sprouts. And eating that sprouts is so nutritious. So like that, it is happening not only in the food we take into the stomach through the mouth. No. That rain, parjanya, is needed in all different fields as well. Rain is nothing but, as I said, it is condition, essential condition. That should be there in all fields, in all 5 types of food which we take through 5 senses. See? Rain is so important. How to get that rain, and through that, the whole cycle again starts. So it is not limited only to the food material what we eat. That is, through that he is expressing all the 5 senses are working in cosmic way. So just contemplate. How is it possible? How can we understand this? Annat bhavanti bhutani parjanyat anna sambhava. To the ears, the sound, how it is applicable. To the eyes, what we see as rupa, the form, how it is applicable. This shloka. It's really mind-blowing. This concept of yajna, if we start understanding, analyzing, contemplating, reflecting on it, and then make it as part of our life, it's really mind-blowing. Beautiful concept. Yajna bhava, yajna karma. So, yajnat bhavati parjanyo, yajna karma samudbhavam. Even there we can understand how the whole cosmos is interconnected as chain. The rain triggers the next station, which is the grain. And the grain triggers the next one as food. And the next, the blood, and then the semen, and then the human body. So like that, the cycle is cosmic. And by this shloka, if we really visualize and contemplate, we understand how each one of us, every moment, our action is a cosmic action. It's possible to understand only when you go deep into it. Every action is a cosmic action. It's not an individual action. It is part of the whole cosmic cycle in which every action is involved. It's a beautiful concept, yajna concept. So, there is one more philosophical school which takes karma brahmodbhavam vidhi, brahmaksharam samudbhavam. Here they take karma Brahmodbhavam. Karma as the human duties of human beings, karma, which is prescribed in Brahma Vedas. They take that Brahma as Veda. That Veda is from Akshara Samudbhavam. It is from the imperishable words of Supreme. And in that Brahma, Sarvagatam, Tasmat Sarvagatam. Here it is all inclusive, all comprehensive words, concepts, theories are there in Vedas. And thus, Veda is very much present in all the karmas which are prescribed in Vedas for the development of a human being in his spiritual seeking. So they take it in that way. And we can also see Vedas are giving us the instructions, guidance, like mother. It teaches, it guides the human being who is very, very ignorant, how to make him come up step by step. Vedas is the guiding encyclopedia. In that, if you are able to understand why those rituals are there prescribed, and we do understand they're all stepping stones, those rituals. Till when we can go all the way up to know that Supreme Parabrahman is the very source from which the whole universe is coming forth. It is working because of that Supreme Brahman. So, Veda is also called Veda Mata because it is helping. Evam pravartitam chakram nanuvartayatiha yah aghayurindriyaramo mogham parthasa jivati. He is very strict, Bhagavan Krishna, in telling Arjuna clearly. Evam pravartitam chakram. This mutual interdependence is going as a cycle. It is moving as cycle. In that wheel, evam pravartitam chakram nanu vartayatiha yaha. One who doesn't follow or fulfill the obligations, because the whole universe is like the wheel of yajna. It is running in yajna bhava only. Without understanding that, if one is not fulfilling that obligation, one who is not following it, he aghayuri indriyaram aramo, aghayuhu, that is sinful life he is leading. Indriyaramo, rejoicing the senses, only involved in satiating those indriyas, the five senses. That's what happens. When that yajna bhava is not there in a person, that service orientation is not there. Sacrifice is not in their blood at all. Those people are leading the life which is sinful by perceiving and taking in all for their own enjoyment of five senses. Indriyarama, to make the Indriyas happy. They do all possible actions which takes away their whole time and effort, and the whole life will be sinful in that way. Mogham Partha Sajivati. He is leading nothing but the sinful life. So this really makes us think to what extent we have to be careful, we have to be aware of our every action. Is it contributing something to the world or not? And even if I like something to eat or to see or to hear, even at that moment, I should pause and think, by listening to this, is it going to make this mind and body happy or the world happy? Which is more important? The likes and dislikes are only for the mind. So individually, when we start giving more importance to make this mind more and more happy, it will never stop. It will keep asking for more happiness. That too, it is so restricted. So there's no point in even trying to satiate the desires of the mind. Instead of that, if we are able to give a break for half second, is it really going to make me happy? Or is it going to make everyone around me happy? If everyone is happy with that, we can listen to that music or listen to that lecture. So there is harmony in the place. And that harmony will give rise to more joy. And it spreads when we are devoting ourselves to the happiness of all around. Not just my own five senses, my own mind, my own intellect. So he's making it very clear. Evam pravartitam chakram. Pravartitam chakram, it is constantly moving and like a cycle, like wheel. It is progressively moving, doing its action, the whole universe. Nanuvartayati hayah, one who is not doing the obligatory action. Aghayurindriyaramo, he is only leading Mogham Parthasa Jivati. He is leading the life of sin, enjoying all the five senses, trying to satiate. Once a person experiences that yajna bhava, even one action, if he tastes the joy of it and the response which he gets instantaneously within, that yajna bhava triggers the person to do the yajna karma in every action of his. Because a person is not having the even taste of it, he doesn't know the joy of yajna bhava and yajna karma. So one should have the taste. And naturally he's dragged to make every action of his as yajna karma. यस्त्वात्मरतिरेव स्यात् आत्मतृप्तश्च मानवः आत्मन्येव च सन्तुष्टस्तस्य कार्यं न विद्यते. See, Krishna is giving more and more support towards yajna karma. यस्त्वात्मरतिरेव स्यात् आत्मतृप्तिश्च मानवः. A person, a human being, manava, who rejoices in the self only, because he has done so much of self-dedicated actions. That taste he has, that experience, that joy he has experienced really well. So he knows to feel that joy, there's no need for me to take in from outer world for joy, because that joy is very much within. How did he find it out? Because of yajna bhava and yajna karma. See how they are interconnected. So, yastu atma ratireva syat atma truptascha, and he's satisfied in self itself, because he's getting the joy within himself, because he's seeing the whole thing as yajna and he's filled with joy, and his action, the process of performing the action, is also filled with joy. Joy, joy, joy. Every moment is blissful. And he is just happy within. And he's not seeking any happiness outside. Atmanyevacha santushta tasya karyam na vidyate. And only in Atma, when that person is seeking that santushta, that happiness, he doesn't have any duty to be done, to perform. He doesn't have anything as obligatory work which he has to do. Because his action is automatically going on as yajna. He is not restricted like the seekers or the normal commoners or ignorants. We are all seeking the happiness by demanding something from outside. So this wheel of action is mainly playing to the seekers. When we seekers are trying to make our personality fit enough to go to the next level, Jnana Yoga, we have to have that yajna bhava and yajna karma. So when we are totally ready, only then we can go for Jnana Yoga. For that to achieve, the scriptures, Bhagavadgita, they give us and they teach us about what this yajna is, what this cosmic wheel is. So, When that person who has already doing that every action as yajna, he is not seeking anything outside. He knows he is already experiencing Atma as the one which really gives that happiness. That Atma is Ishvara, who is making the body and the mind to work. He has found out that. So he is happy with it. And he is satisfied as well. Santrupta. That person, that Manava, Atmanyevacha Santushta. And he is happy within. For him, there is no such obligatory duty. Trupti and Santushtata. These two, it is always there within self. And he's sitting on that and he's enjoying the presence of Ishvara within. So it is we people who are thinking, I am the body, I am the mind, are the ones who are running behind, satiating, accomplishing the desires from running to the outer world. So the transaction is happening continuously. When I think I am the body, I am the mind, naturally I am feeling I am an individual. I feel like asserting, making more property to my own self. In that assertion, I am forgetting that I am very much part of this cosmic wheel, which is moving constantly. I'm forgetting. So I'm falling off the obligatory karma. So I will never get the happiness. Because I'm not getting happiness from within. I'm going in search of that happiness in outer world. So there is no way I can get out of that seeking happiness in the outer world. Whereas this person who has been very much dipped in yajna bhava is thoroughly enjoying that santushtata, that bliss within, and that satisfaction within. So it is like this. As long as we are studying as students in a university, we are obliged to follow the laws and rules of the university. Otherwise, I will be kicked out. I have to follow the rules. But once I have passed from that university, no more I am obligated to those rules. It is only meant for the students, isn't it? In the same way, because we are still students, the seekers, we have to follow that yajna bhava, yajna karma when we are performing every action. Because that is the rule, law of this universe. Because in this universe, everything is happening as yajna. So I have to follow it, the obligation. But a person who has already done that course and he has succeeded in finding that Ishvara, Atma, and that Ananda within, he doesn't have to have any obligatory work. So he is liberated. So when we take Vedas as the Brahma, Vedas are like Purohita or Pandit. When they come to the wedding hall to conduct the wedding of bride and the groom, he does all necessary things and they make the bride and the bridegroom as newly wedded husband and wife. There ends his job. Beyond that, it is the husband and the wife who have to carry on. In the same way, Vedas, Brahma, Vedas make us, it helps us to unite that individual with the Supreme Self. Once a person is united with Supreme Self, the Vedas have no more hold on that realized person. So he is not obligated to follow the prescribed duties. He is beyond. Naiva tasya kritenartho na kriteneha kaschana. Na chasya sarvabhuteshu kaschidartha vyapashrayah. For this type of realized person, naiva tasya kritenartho, there is nothing which has to be done, which has to be gained. Like that, there's nothing. Na akrutenaha kaschana. And there is nothing which he has to lose, or there is nothing lost to him. Whatsoever, kaschana, whatsoever, there is nothing to lose or to gain, to execute or to renounce. Kritenartham, akrutena, iha, in this world, kaschana, whatsoever, there is nothing. Na chasya sarvabhuteshu, not only that, even among all beings, sarvabhuteshu, kaschit artha vyapashrayah. For anything, he is not depending upon any other, anyone. Because he doesn't need any transaction as such. He's not depending upon anyone. Vyapashrayah. So, for example, during particular occasions, yatis, gurus are dressed in silk robe and they are decorated with kirita and all just like king. But are they really attracted by it, or are they really happy that they are all doing it to him? Is he moved by that? No. I had to be donned as king with kirita, the silk robe and everything. Yes, it is going on. Let it be. There it ends. He doesn't have any dependence on others to get the happiness. So, even yatis, gurus, when they are dressed in such rich dresses, they are not bothered by that at all. As a ritual, they get dressed. Once it is done, they remove nothing more. So, naiva tasya kritenartho, na kriteneha kaschana. When their mind and the intellect is so aligned beautifully with Atma, They're already getting the joy which is bursting out. For them, there is no gain or loss. And they are not depending on something else for their happiness. They are happy. Tasmat asaktah satatam karyam karma samachara asakto hi acharan karma paramapnoti purushaha. So if at all a man, purushaha, asaktah, when he becomes asakta, that means without any attachment. That asaktah satatam karyam karma samachara. You should work, you should do the actions which has to be done. Samachara. You do it, but as asakta, without any attachment. Karyam, karma, samachara. Do that. The work which has to be done, karma, samachara. Do that, perform that, but as asakta. Asaktohi, only that unattached person, acharan karma, performing that action, paramapnoti, only he gets that state of supreme and he will be enjoying that bliss. These are golden words which we have to follow, understand, and apply it to ourselves. Let every action be as asakta, without attachment. When we start thinking, I am the one who is doing it, I did it, so I have to have the reward for that. I am the one, authentically I can go and get the reward. That bhavana will not lead me towards the Supreme, but it will make me be that individual forever and ever and ever and go through the ups and downs of different emotions, different situations in life. When we are performing every action unattached to the reward, or I'm the one who's doing it. So here also, without telling it, pronouncing it, he is hinting at that, Krishna, thinking that all Arjunas will understand. Let us see how he takes us. People who have enjoyed giving things, giving away, giving comfort to others. The joy they get keeps increasing day by day, in every action of theirs. They thoroughly enjoy giving in different ways, in different forms. Give. The person who keeps receiving, the joy starts diminishing in him. Because the more we receive, the expectation of receiving more, quantity and quality and different varieties, everything comes to the mind. I want it more. It would be nice if it is that way. So receiving only brings down the joy because there is anticipation. I'm aspiring for different things to receive. So that dissatisfaction, incompleteness is always there. So the joy is dipping down. So yajna bhava and yajna karma help us to get into the joy of giving, giving, giving. So let us cultivate that also in us. Karmanaiva samsiddhim asthita janakadaya लोकसङ्ग्रहमेवापि सम्पश्यन् कर्तुमर्हसि. यद्यदाचरति श्रेष्ठः तत्तदेवेतरो जनः स यत् प्रमाणं कुरुते लोकस्तदनुवर्तते. कर्मणैव हि संसिद्धिम् अस्थिता जनकादयः. By performing the duties, karmanaiva hi samsiddhim, they attain the perfection, the spiritual attainment they get. Who? Janakadaya, the great kings like Janaka, Ashwapati, Dhruva. There are so many who attain that spiritual perfection by performing duty. Lokasangrahamevapi, and they do that karma for the lokasangraha. So keeping this in mind, considering this, sampashyan kartumarhasi. Oh Arjuna, you should do that work, following, considering lokasangraha, the good of the society, the welfare of the society. You have to do the work. And that is how Janakadaya, great kings, even Prithu, Vibhishana, they are all exemplary role model kings who have karmanaivahi samsiddhim astita. They all have attained to this yajna bhava karma. So you also follow that and do it. Because you are the prince. You have been born and you have been taught how to be a good leader, king. And thus you have to follow them. Do the karma in yajna bhava. Yadyadacharati shrestha. Whatever the noble shrestha, the great noble people do, perform, tatta devetaro janaha. All other people follow whatever this noble, great person does as leader, as king, as master, as guru, as an elder. So, sat yat pramanam kurute. And it is that noble person who creates the standard. Yat pramanam kurute saha loka tadanvartate. And the whole world follows that karma only. It is so true. It starts from a very small circle. If there are 2 or 3 friends, whoever is influential, the other 2 gets influenced by that friend. Or in a family, in school, in society, in nation. So many people follow the celebrities. They try to dress up, talk, walk, behave, think like those celebrities. Why? Because man by nature is perfect imitator. Through imitating, they learn, they get the joy, and they feel, I'm that celebrity, I'm like that. So they become that person through imitating everything about that person, whatever he does or whatever she does, the loka follows. So, yad yadacharati shreshtaha tattadevetaro janah. Yad pramanam kurute, whatever the standard of the shrestha is, they all follow that. They keep that as the standard and they try to achieve that. See, it is so true. These yatis and gurus are the spiritual masters. They all would have already got that jnana yoga and they are all realized souls. Still, they all do the puja, nitya karma, whatever they have to do. They will keep doing it. But they are all realized ones. There is no need for them to do, but still they do it. Why? Because there are so many followers and bhaktas who are following whatever they are doing. So, being a leader, being a guru, being a yati, being a guide, they cannot become karma sannyasi. They cannot renounce the karma because they are leading, they are guiding. So they become karma yogis. They do the karma because they have to do it. Everyone is following them. Isn't it? So true. So Arjuna, you are the prince. You have to get into the action and do. All others are following you. So you have to be that karma yogi. You can't renounce it. You can't be karma sannyasi. Go ahead, do it. So when I think of those yatis, gurus, I have seen so many gurus and yatis doing with so much of involvement, they will be doing it. And this question used to come in my mind. They're already realized ones. Why are they doing it? But when we are sitting and looking at them doing those puja, everything, abhisheka, with so much of involvement, it is like demonstration for us, which we have to imbibe from them. So, gopyam, gopyataram should be the sadhana. Within, they know Ishvara is this Atma. I am that Atma. I am that Ishvara. I am that Brahman. Still, outwardly, they are doing all the Nitya Karmas, puja, everything. And that is how they are Karma Yogi and they are Jnana Yogi as well. न मे पार्थास्ति कर्तव्यं त्रिषु लोकेषु किंचन नानवाप्तम् अवाप्तव्यं वर्त एव च कर्मणि. O Partha, Arjuna, I do not have any duty or work to be done. I don't have anything. In Trishu Lokeshu, in all the three worlds, Kinchana, even a bit, I don't have to do anything, even a bit. In all the three worlds, Kartavya, well, Kartavya means it has to be done. Like that, I don't have anything. Na anavaptam, that is, I have nothing which is impossible for me to gain or attain. There's nothing impossible. Anavaptam. Na avaptavyam. I have nothing to attain. I'm not looking forward to attain anything because there is nothing for me to attain. Both are not there for me. Yet, varta evacha karmani. Still, I'm engaged in all the actions. Just think, if Bhagavan Krishna did not perform the action, there is no way the world would be working. There won't be world at all. All the three worlds are depending on him. But he is not depending on the world. He is not doing the action for his own gain, or he is not obliged to do that action. But still he is doing. Why? For the sake of the yajna of this whole universe. He is going through that. Krishna is Atmarama. Atmarama means one who is rejoicing the self. He is very much there. Atmarati. His desire is also nothing but Atma. Atma Krida. He is also playing with self. To that extent, he is self-dedicated. He has nothing transaction to be done with the world. Yet, he is thoroughly engaged in action. Just for the sake of keeping the yajna going on and on. When that Krishna himself is engaged in that yajna bhava, who are we to neglect that yajna bhava and think I am doing everything for my own self, for my sense enjoyment? How foolish and how simple it will be. Why we are not giving importance for this yajna bhava and yajna karma when Krishna is doing it? And he is openly telling, Name parthasti kartavyam trishu lokeshu. Not in one loka, not in this world, not in one nation, not in one family, but in three lokas, in all the three lokas. I don't have anything to do. Three lokas, we can take it in different aspects. When we are in three gunas, in three states of existence as Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, the world we will be experiencing is different. The world, when I'm awake, what I'm experiencing is different from the world which I am seeing in my dream. Swapna is different. And Sushupti, in deep sleep, that world is totally different. Like that, cosmically and individually, Krishna is involved in the action. Because cosmically we can understand it is beyond the humanly possibility to rule the whole universe. But it is Krishna who is doing it cosmically. Individually also, Krishna is the one who is making we, the human beings, go through three lokas, which we experience. When I'm experiencing the world because of my sattva guna being intense, the whole world which I will be revolving around, which I will be creating, is different from when that rajoguna is high in me. Then my world, my friends, environment, the food I eat, the way I dress up, everything will be different from what that sattva guna. So the world itself is different. Or when we take trikala, past, when my mind goes and lives in that past, the whole time, the world which I am experiencing is different than what this present is. In the same way, future. When I'm thinking of the future, I will be living in different world, Trishu Lokeshu. So even in individuals, in every individual, Bhagavan Krishna is constantly working. He's engaged in karma. Varta evahi evacha karmani. Cosmically and individually, is engaged and he is performing continuously. So it's beyond words to even to know that we are part of that cosmos. And Krishna is very much working in us every moment. So there is so much to learn from Bhagavad-gita, and one can become a better person as we go deeper into understanding how, to what extent we are all not individuals but cosmic part of the whole cosmos. And our action is responsible for many other reactionary actions which will take place. So we are not apart from the rest of the world. We are very much part. So whatever we do as action, it is creating repercussion in the whole world, in the whole universe. So I will give you one example which I experienced and felt it. When I went to Manas Sarovara the first time, I was feeling, the first question came to my mind when I was inside the Sarovara. To whom all I should thank for me to be able to come and stand in this Manasarovara water. So that question became more and more intense and strong within me, that I started feeling the list will never end. And it started encompassing the whole cosmos. So I felt I should be thankful to the whole cosmos for making me as a human being to be able to come and stand in this Manasarovara. And then the example came to my mind is, suppose we want to move a small cap which is put on the tire to put the air into it. There will be one valve. On that there will be a cap. The cap is so negligible one. If I want that cap to move from even an inch, I cannot move it unless the whole truck moves forward. So the movement of this cap, even 1 inch, for that the wheel has to rotate. If I want this cap to go from here to here, if I want it to go here, the wheel has to move. For the wheel to move, the whole huge truck has to move. So think, we people as individuals, if we have to do any action, each action is possible only with the help of the whole cosmos. Because we are not sensitive and because we are not having that holistic understanding of how it looks, how it feels, how it is happening, we are not connecting our action with the rest of the world. So when we understand this yajna bhava and yajna karma, it certainly makes us feel how fortunate we are to be part of this yajna which is taking place as cosmos. As I feel. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva. Om Geetarjanam.